Do you want to learn how Microsoft Purview can help you track AI usage and interactions in your tenant and beyond? Stay tuned to find out. Let's take a look at the key capabilities for DSPM for AI in Microsoft Purview. With centralized AI data security management, it provides a single location to secure data used by apps for AI like Copilot, agents, and third-party LLM-based tools. With insights and analytics on AI activity, it monitors how AI interacts with organizational data, giving visibility into prompts and responses for compliance and risk analysis. With ready-to-use protection policies that are built in, it applies these policies to prevent sensitive data exposure in AI prompts and outputs, reducing risk without slowing productivity. And with its data risk assessments, it can identify and remediate oversharing risks, ensuring sensitive information is handled appropriately during AI interactions. With its compliance controls, it enforces organizational data handling and storage policies to meet regulatory and internal compliance requirements. And with its integration with other Purview solutions, it can work alongside solutions like data loss prevention, insider risk management, and communication compliance for a truly holistic security posture. Let's take a look at some of the prerequisites for DSPM for AI. You're going to need a Microsoft 365 E5 or equivalent license. So DSPM for AI is part of advanced compliance features which require an E5 subscription or add-on licensing for Purview capabilities. You're going to need Microsoft Purview Compliance Portal access. Admins must have permissions to configure policies and view AI interaction insights in the Purview portal. You'll need Copilot or AI-enabled apps deployed. DSPM for AI is designed to monitor and secure data used by AI apps such as Microsoft Copilot, agents, and third-party LLM-based tools. Integration with Purview solutions, DSPM for AI works alongside DLP, insider risk management, and communication compliance, so these need to be enabled for full functionality. You need sensitive information types configured, so ensure that those SITs, for example, PII, financial data, are defined so DSPM can detect and protect sensitive content in AI prompts and responses. Finally, you need Activity Explorer and Audit Logging enabled. This is required for tracking AI interactions and generating compliance reports. Let's take a look at DSPM for AI in action in the Purview portal. We need to go to Solutions and down to, you guessed it, DSPM for AI. Let's take a look and see what we have in here. We land at the overview screen and you have a get started section and some recommendations, which is very, very handy to know how to get started. So you need to ensure that Microsoft Purview Audit is activated. This is usually the case for most tenants, but sometimes on older tenants, it's worth checking that. You need the Purview browser extension installed, which we've covered in a previous video, and onboard devices to Purview as well. It needs to be able to see those devices through Defender for endpoint integration and extend your insights for data discovery. So discover sensitive data in user interactions with other AI apps. So if you've not already activated these, as I have here, you can click onto each one and see what it's all about, what it's going to do. And for the most part, what it's going to do for this one, for example, extending your insights, it's going to create policies for you. So here's what's been set up already. This is detecting sensitive info shared in AI prompts in Edge, and you can get right into the policy details from here. We can see detect when users visit AI sites. So we've got an insider risk management policy there, all set up, ready to go, and detect sensitive info pasted or uploaded into AI sites as well. That's a data loss prevention policy there also. So we can get right into those policies from here once they're set up. If we scroll down, we have some further recommendations which are in red, and we've not done these ones yet. So let's take a look and see what it's going to do for us. And this is from the overview screen. We could get into those broader recommendations from the recommendations screen there, but let's do it right from here, and we'll view the details and go through. And we can see that we've done some of these here. So data security for AI. We have a policy created to block elevated risk users from pasting or uploading sensitive info on AI sites. That's a DLP policy. We have one that's not created yet, a couple in fact not created. So let's get them activated. So we're going to activate block elevated risk users from submitting prompts to AI apps. So those elevated risk users are going to be using adaptive protection here for that one. And we can also block sensitive info from being sent to AI apps in Edge. So what to expect? It's telling us exactly what's happening here. Adaptive protection must be enabled for the policies to work correctly. If an adaptive protection policy is not already created to adjust policy behavior based on user risk, then an adaptive default protection policy will be created. And if it's already been created, then it will remain the same. DLP rule matches will be shown within Activity Explorer. So let's go ahead and create those policies. And this is the beauty of DSPM for AI. It's going to go right ahead and create those policies for us. And it usually doesn't take too long for this to happen. It's creating the policies now. Let's wait for that to complete. And there you have it. That took about a minute, and we've got all green lights in here now, which is absolutely fantastic. So let's just click on the policy details there, and we can see exactly what has been set up for us right here within the flyout panel. It's loading that now. Maybe it's just taking a wee while to do that because it's new. It's figuring itself out, but there we go. It's telling us the status of the policy and the locations that it's monitoring: ChatGPT, DeepSeek, Gemini, and Bing Chat. And it's got adaptive protection to block prompts sent to AI rule baked into it. So we could edit the policy within the solution there, and it would take us right into that policy. So let's go back and we'll come out of that. We've got everything completed there now. We've got insights into communications as well. So let's see what we have here. This is all about detecting unethical behavior in AI apps. And what that's going to do is detect sensitive info and prompts and responses from Copilot experiences and ChatGPT for enterprise, and covers all users and groups in the organization. And it's telling us here that we have new pay-as-you-go billing in effect, and that your organization will be billed for policy activity in non-Microsoft 365, Copilot, and enterprise AI apps with pay-as-you-go billing. So do watch out for that if you have anything that's non-M365, and be sure that you're aware of the potential charges that you might see. What we're going to expect from this: alerts from this policy will appear in communication compliance for your review, and you'll be assigned to review all detected interactions to address unethical behavior. So let's go ahead and create those policies again, and just give that a few seconds to do so, and we should see the same as before. And there we go. All is good. That has been set up, and we can close that off as well. So you can see how easy that is. We can scroll down now and we'll see some reports. We can see total interactions over time from Copilot and agents, and we can view more details on that if we wish. We can see the sensitive interactions per AI app as well from here, right in graphical format. And if we go down, we can get some more resources. We can get access to insights, policies and controls, AI sites and permissions, etc., etc. So lots you can do right from this overview screen. If we go into the recommendations, we can see a lot more that we can put into place. We can see what has been completed. We can see there are still a few things that haven't been completed, and we can select them and go through them and mark those as complete. Not all of them are to create policies automatically, as we've just seen. This one here, for example, to protect your data from potential oversharing risks. It tells you the steps at a glance to view the latest scan results for default data risk assessment. select view the latest results, which is here, and then select the data source to view the fixes, and then complete the fixes to your data. So this default data risk assessment runs weekly. Let's just take a look and see where that takes us to. It takes us right to the bottom there on the data risk assessments, and we can then go and view those results. And we've actually got no data available on this one, so that shows me that this one hasn't quite been done correctly, I think. So our last assessment was 16th of November. Next will be the 23rd. There's no data available yet. And this being a demo tenant, I would expect that, to be honest, because there's not really any activity there. So with that being said, we could go back and we could mark that as complete if we needed to. So just go through all these and familiarize yourself with them, and you'll be good to go. Next, let's look at reports, and we saw some of these on the overview screen. We can see activity reports, total interactions of Copilot, and we can view the details of those. Total interactions over time for enterprise AI apps and other AI apps as well. I don't have this connected to anything other than Copilot, so I'm not seeing any available data there. But you get the idea, and you can see summaries and drill down into those as needed. There's a preview feature here for apps and agents as well, so understand the depth and breadth of Microsoft Purview protection for AI applications and agents within the last 30 days. So we can see here various apps. We can see that Microsoft Copilot Studio is monitored. We can see Copilot is as well, and we can see the user trends there for Copilot, which it can return some results for. We can see things like Copilot in Fabric, Security Copilot, which at the time of recording, Microsoft Ignite has announced that Security Copilot is going to be available for no extra cost for Microsoft 365 E5 users now, which is excellent news. And also for ChatGPT Enterprise as well. So we can see everything that's going to be monitored here. And we can see the agents that we've got in our organizations as well. And I don't have any agents deployed at the moment. This is a preview feature, actually, all of this. So do be aware of that. Agents is something that I want to start covering on this channel at some point. So look out for that as well. So there you go. 3 more to go. We've got policies, Activity Explorer, and we've already looked a little bit into data risk assessments. So let's get stuck in with policies. So here we have the policies for DSPM for AI, and they are grouped together in their actual solutions within Microsoft Purview. So if we collapse this, we can see exactly how they are grouped. So we've got policies that relate to data loss prevention and DSPM for AI specific, DSPM for AI pure policies, ones that tie to insider risk management and communication compliance. So the ones that we set up automatically in the overview earlier in this video will be in here. We can have a look through each one and see what we've got. So if we expand each section, we can see the name of the policy, the status, the solution that it's tied to, the last modified date, and who last modified it. And we've got a custom policy there for Copilot in DLP. We've got DSPM for AI to block prompts sent to AI apps in Edge, and a few other ones that relate to data loss prevention. So let's take a look at this particular one here. And what you will find is that you can't actually create policies directly from here. You can create them in their actual solution. And if you edit them, you can edit them within the solution. So if I click Edit Policy and Solution here, it's going to take me in another tab, thankfully, so I can switch quite easily, into data loss prevention. And I'm hoping it will take me into the actual, it doesn't in fact. So let's just go back and remind myself. So this is DSPM for AI block prompts sent to AI apps in Edge, DSPM for AI. And let's just, can I expand that out a bit? I do so hate when it doesn't show you everything. Is this the one? Yes, it is. That's the right one. So if we click on to edit that policy, we can see exactly what is being created. We've got a name for it, we've got a description, and if we go through, we can see exactly what it's doing. And it's all about unmanaged cloud apps. And we've got Gemini in here from Google, ChatGPT, Copilot, and DeepSeek. So what we can do is we can edit the scope to scope them separately if we want to. We can add other cloud apps here, or we can remove all. We can tweak this as we need to. If we go to next, we can choose where we want to enforce that policy. So we can see here that Edge for Business is on, network is off, but you could toggle on network to detect and protect sensitive data shared with unmanaged cloud apps through browsers, apps, APIs, and more with the Microsoft Entra Global Secure Access functionality, which is out of the scope of this study guide, but it's something we probably will come back to on this channel at some point, because that's a very relevant feature. So as we go through, if we go on next, we can see the advanced DLP rules that are on, and if we edit that, let's see exactly what is happening on this one. And it's all about detecting sensitive info types, of which there are many in there, and then restricting the browser activities. So we can see here text is sent to or shared with cloud or AI apps, and it's set to block automatically, but we could change that to audit only if we wanted to. And there are other actions there, and what is grayed out and what is not will depend on what is set up in your environment. So we then, as ever with DLP, we've got control over incident reports and additional options and so on and so forth. So that gives you just a little bit of a flavor of what that looks like in the individual solution. So that's DLP. We've got some specific ones for DSPM for AI as well. Now this one was one that got set up as well. Detect sensitive info shared in AI prompts in Edge. So edit the policy in the solution. Interested to see where this one is going to take us, because it's also data loss prevention, and it's in collection policies. Interesting. I actually have learned something as I'm looking at this too. So here we go, DSPM for AI. And if we want to edit that one, let's take a look and see what it's doing. We go next, and we can see that we've got the content contains certain classifiers, which we can edit if we want to. So we've got these classifiers in, and we can change that if we want to be specific classifiers. And if we go next, the activities to detect, and it's set to text sent to or shared with cloud or AI apps. We could actually add more activities to here as well, and we can see there's lots of other options: file archived, file accessed by unallowed app. So there is a lot of different functionality that you can apply in these sort of collection policies, in this case in DLP. And again, it's doing those same data sources as the previous policy we looked at, and decide whether to capture content from AI interactions. And in this case, we've got don't capture content. It's telling us here that if we want to capture the content on the data to detect step, you must scope the content contains condition to all and where to apply step. So very clear guidance on how we can get this grayed out box released there. Cloud apps detection, we've got Edge for Business on here, and network is selected in this instance. And then choose the policy mode, turn it on or keep it off. There's no in between in this case, and that is it. So nice and simple once again. So that is the DSPM for AI specific policies. We've got insider risk management, so detect risky AI usage. Let's just take a look at one of these. We'll edit this one in insider risk management, and just remind myself which one it is again. Detect risky AI usage, and that is the top one here. We can edit the policy, see exactly what it's doing, and we've been through insider risk management previously, so I'll not drill down too much into this. You get the idea of what this policy is achieving. So nice and simple, and there's communication client compliance as well. So really cool stuff. And if we move on from policies to Activity Explorer, here's where we can get a really good view of all the AI activity including AI interactions, prompts, responses, activity with sensitive info types, and more. And in previous videos in this series, we have been through this before, and we can filter on certain things. AI interactions in this case would be the most relevant for DSPM for AI, but we can look at these interactions and see what they're all about. And we can see here in this particular example, it's actually picked up something that I typed into Copilot just a short time ago, so it's pretty quick as I record this video, and I typed in just to remind myself what roles are needed for DSPM for AI, and there's a response. Okay, I'll search for this, and here's the response. Here's a clear breakdown of the roles and permissions required for a DSPM for AI based on Microsoft guidance. We can scroll down and see exactly what was returned. So this is really, really cool. And it shows you the web references AI app used, the resources AI app accessed, lots of really cool information in the Activity Explorer. So this is a treasure trove of information for administrators who will be working on this sort of thing. And then finally, we've got the data risk assessments available in here, and we can create assessments for Microsoft 365 or for Fabric. And what this enables you to do is run things like default assessments and custom assessments. And I have one which is expired now, actually, but I did an assessment for my Copilot activity. But you can create a custom assessment, which is a preview feature to review specific data sources and users to identify potential oversharing of sensitive data. If the results are expired, you can duplicate the assessment to refresh the results. So I wonder if I can actually do that from here. Can I, is that what? Yes, I can duplicate that one and do it, but I'll just show you how you create it from scratch as well. It's nice and simple. We can put an assessment name in here. I'll just call it Peter 2. I'm being very, very uninventive there. Always put a description in, please. You can select all users or include specific users. I'll just leave it as all for this one. And then it's scoped against SharePoint and OneDrive. I do expect more data sources to become available in this feature in the near future. Do watch out for that. You click next, save it and run. I won't save this because I don't need it to actually do it. But if you save and run, then it will appear in the list of assessments with the status and the started and completed dates and the results. So there you go. That is pretty much it for DSPM for AI. Let's wind up with some exam tips and some key areas to master. First of all, a reminder of those core DSPM for AI capabilities, centralized management for AI apps like our Copilot, ChatGPT, and Gemini options, insights into AI activity and prompt response auditing, ready-to-use policies for preventing sensitive data exposure, and data risk assessments and compliance controls. Do know all about these things and make sure you're familiar with those core capabilities. It's important also to know about policy enforcement, how to create DLP policies for AI sites using adaptive protection. We've covered DLP and adaptive protection earlier on in this course, and things like restricting pasting and uploading sensitive information into AI tools via browsers like Edge and Chrome and Firefox. Make sure you're aware of that integration with other Purview features like insider risk management, communication compliance, and e-discovery as well for investigating AI interactions. Audit and investigation. Use Activity Explorer and audit logs to review AI prompts and responses. Understand how to retain and search Copilot interactions for compliance. Some common exam scenarios to finish off with. Blocking sensitive info, for example, credit card numbers from being pasted into AI tools. Preventing classified documents from being uploaded into AI sites, and identifying which Purview solution applies to AI-related compliance requirements. And that's it, folks. I hope you found that useful and informative. We are getting towards the end of this SC-401 exam guide series. I'm going to do one wrap-up video to conclude the series, which will consist of the various PowerShell commands that you should know about in relation to Purview for SC-401, because you can be sure that Microsoft will test you on those things. They love to test you with PowerShell and Microsoft Graph and all that sort of thing. So we'll do a little video on that to wrap things up. Thank you for watching. I appreciate all your support. My members especially, thank you for supporting me. My subscribers, I just reached 15,000 subscribers, which I'm so grateful for. Thank you very much. If you're not subscribed and you're watching, please do hit that subscribe button. It's completely free. It costs you nothing, takes a second, and it helps me so much, as does you hitting the thumbs up button as well. It helps me reach a wider audience and help more people. So please do that if you can be so kind. We'll leave it there. You all take care, stay safe, travel well, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.